Hello, it's Warren.
And Landon.
From the Peach State Prime Transformers channel. And today we're taking a look at one of Landon's latest additions to his Transformers collection. You want to show us who that is?
Tiny Ironhide.
Yeah, so this is Studio Series Legends / Core Class Ironhide. We did get a deal on him at our local Ollie's.
For $5.
Yep, for only $5.
Compared to like $10.
And, you know, it's a figure, it's kind of come and gone, you know, without much fanfare. Him and Ratchet, you know, who's a retool of this mold. And it's actually a nifty little toy, and thought we would take a moment, just, you know, take a look at it, because it is pretty readily available through Ollie's if you have one in your area. So this is something you can still pick up.
Pretty much every Ollie's I've been to has had that.
Yeah, he's finally decided to pull the trigger on it. And, you know, it's, like I said, it's a fun little toy, little fidget toy if nothing else. And, you know, this is not, you know, your Super Studio Series Collector's Edition you're going to have on your shelf, you know, like the Legends class. Or, not Legends, excuse me, the Voyager class. So, you know, we're going to do our comparisons accordingly here, but I'm going to let Landon show the figure off a little bit, and we'll do some comparisons and look at it transformed.
So, this is a quick look at the Tiny Ironhide. So, it's actually pretty detailed for a core class figure. Like, you even have, like, the little bumps on his bumper. No pun intended. And he also comes with these two small little blasters. And they can do something in the vehicle mode that I'll show in a little bit. And he also has these really cool windshield wipers.
All right, thank you, Landon. And, you know, for comparisons, you know, it was tough because, you know, I have Siege Ironhide. I don't have the Voyager Studio Series, like the Earthrise type mold, or like I said, Studio Series, but, you know, eventually plan on getting that. And then, you know, doing G1 Ironhide, or again, even that Siege Ironhide, didn't really seem to, yeah, I mean, you're not going to tell much. But instead, I decided, let's look at some other core class figures of, you know, characters that usually have bigger toys. So here's him and Optimus. This was one of the later Optimus, you know, core class figures that was put out there. They scale rather well. I mean, you know, Optimus may have been maybe a head bigger than Ironhide in most cases, but, you know, not bad there. And then, of course, this was around the Kingdom era. We did have, you know, the little Soundwave, which, you know, does have the little cassette inside. It's about the size of a fingernail. And, you know, again, they also scale well together. So, you know, not bad. And then the one I'm sure everybody wants to see. This was the last Gun Megatron that was released in the U.S. by Hasbro. You notice the bright orange cap on the end there, but, you know, you can reenact the scene from Transformers the movie, you know, such heroic nonsense. Or choom, I think is the onomatopoeia for that. But anyways, again, you know, it's a shame we don't get more core classes of all the characters, because it'd make for a real budget-friendly and kid-friendly way of collecting more figures. But anyways, Ironhide fits right in here, and I think that's pretty cool. Let's see, and I'll let Landon take it away with showing us Ironhide's alt mode.
Okay. So, first, take out his guns. There we go.
So is this one pretty simple to transform?
Yeah. If you remember how to.
So it actually seems a little complex because I have not transformed this yet. And actually it looks kind of complex for a, again, a core class figure. That's actually pretty cool. I gotta love the snap off parts.
Yeah, especially this part.
Mm. It looks like those legs are kind of finicky.
Yeah. Depends if he is having too much nonsense.
Yeah.
If it's heroic or not. Off camera, he's always so easy to transform. And then when we film a video about him, he's like 500 times harder to transform.
Alright, so that actually looks pretty good. You know, looking at him here, I'd say, and I'm not going to get my G1 figure out, but he looks just right about the same size as G1 First Aid. Like, as soon as Landon transformed him, first thing that came to my mind was, oh, it's First Aid, and I guess Ratchet would kind of be in that same family, being an ambulance, but that's who this really reminds me of. So that's really cool. And you know, when we compare him to, again, his buddy Optimus, you know, this being a semi-cab truck, you know, Ironhide kind of dwarfs Optimus Prime here in vehicle mode. So scaling, you know, whatever. But, you know, again, I don't think it's really, you know, all that bad here. You know, kind of goes well. Our two Decepticons aren't really, you know, vehicles for scale comparison, so don't really see a need in going there. But, you know, again, I mean, if you have a group of Autobots that are Legend scale, you know, or Core Class, whatever, they keep changing the name, or, well, we don't have them anymore right now, but, you know, it's not a bad, you know, collection there, and they're both probably about as I mean, Ironhide's a little bit more detailed. I mean, he does have that Studio Series clout about him here, with the windows all being molded, where you don't have, you know, on your basic Core Class from Generations, you know, quite have as much detail on Prime here.
Instead of Core Classes, we have Cyberworld.
That's right. Cyberworld's kind of quickly becoming the new Core Class, in a sense, since, you know, some core characters were, or core class characters were, you know, made in that scale because that's what they should be, like Rat Trap from Beast Wars. But anymore, they're making all the mini cars in,
Cyberworld.
Well, in Deluxe class for Generations and Studio Series. So, you know, so yeah, I mean, if you want alternate, smaller versions, Cyberworld's your way to go now. And I just busted up Ironhide here. Alright, so, you know, Ironhide here, he is a really, like I said all along, he's a nifty little toy. It's neat that he actually comes with blasters for a core class. You don't always get accessories. Of course, I talk about that Soundwave having a little cassette. That's easily lost, but, you know, Ironhide here, it's again, pretty nifty. You know, again, being a small studio series, he does have an amazing amount of detail. I mean, not a ton of paint apps, but not bad. You know, you look at this, you know it's Ironhide. So, yeah, I mean, for $5, you can't go wrong. Landon, any other thoughts?
No, I just think it was a really good find for $5. So if you have an Ollie's near you and you want this figure, go there and get it for $5 usually.
All right, so that's going to be it for this one. You know, think we gave our thoughts, a pretty glowing review of, you know, Core Class Ironhide here for $5. Feel like I'm pushing $5 footlongs for, you know, Subway or something. But, again, a fun little toy. You can't go wrong. There's a lot worse things you could spend $5 on. Landon, any other features you want to show us or anything?
Nah.
Nope. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed kind of this brief look at a Studio Series Core Class Ironhide. Figure it's been out for a couple years now, but, you know, it's still at Ollie's and a very good price for it. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, we invite you to give it a like here on YouTube. And, of course, subscribe to the Peach State Prime channel for more videos like this, whether it be toy reviews, discussions of upcoming releases, you know, stuff about reorganizing my transfer room and displaying stuff. Cover it all here at Peach State Prime channel. And, of course, leave a comment. You know, what do you think of this Ironhide, you know, being a Core Class figure and, you know, and still having the Voyager class? And, you know, what are your thoughts on the Core Class kind of going away and going to the Cyberworld side? Love to hear from you. Of course, if you want to learn more about me / us and our YouTube efforts, you can go to peachstateprime.com and all that good information's there. Otherwise, thank you very much again for watching. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.